Thank you for joining me today. It's Brian Gubernick, and welcome to the No Days Off podcast, where we believe that every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. Let's get into today's topic. Today, I'm going to be discussing confidence, the beliefs for confidence, but more specifically, how to go about creating more confidence in your world, in your life, in your business, in your relationships. Last week, one of my business partners, Chris Suarez, talked about the beliefs required to build confidence. And I want to run through those beliefs. While it's not necessarily the focus for what I want to talk around, it is the foundation, and we're going to build from it. So Chris had shared 5 beliefs that must exist for confidence to be constructed, for confidence to be built. Number 1, you got to have a belief that you know what to do. Number 2, you must believe you know how to do it. Number 3, you must feel like you're capable of doing it. Number 4, you must expect good results. And number 5, you'll be okay if the results are not what you expect. So real quick, to build the beliefs in confidence, in order to have confidence, these beliefs must exist. You got to know what to do. You got to know how to do it. You got to feel capable of doing it. You got to expect good results. And you got to recognize that you'll be okay if the results are not what you expect. If you have those 5 beliefs, you will be a confident individual in whatever endeavor. Now, if that's the foundation, if those are the foundational beliefs for confidence, I want to talk about what action steps we can take to create this confidence. This is not something Chris covered, but many of our listeners, in fact, heard Chris talk around these 5 beliefs. And so I thought I'd do a follow-up around the action steps that we can take to create more confidence in whatever it is we choose to do. Here are the 5 I came up with in no exact order. First, I think we've got to, action step number 1, create a strong personal belief statement and create very strong and clear goals. So what I'm saying here is, if you want to be confident, if you want to develop confidence in whatever it is you choose to take on, I think it starts with understanding the why behind why you're doing it. What are your goals? Why do you want to achieve those goals? What does it mean to you? What is your personal belief statement? What is the purpose behind this? The clearer we are around our true north, the clearer we are around why we want to do something, the more confident we can become in defining the direction we intend to go. Next, kind of obvious, but if you want to gain confidence in something, you've got to practice some more, and then practice even more. The reality is, you can't, as my friend Mac Newton likes to say, you can't shirk the work. If you want to gain confidence, you've got to do the work. You've got to practice and practice again. You've got to fail and break it and rebuild. You've got to fail and dust yourself off and go after it again. And you've got to continue to strive towards mastery. The closer you get to mastery, the more confident you become. So practice, practice, practice. Number 3, in order to gain confidence, you've got to surround yourself with confident and competent people. Your circle matters. Your environment matters. I want you to think around a time maybe where you lacked confidence. There's a good chance that the environment that you were in at that same time was not supportive of you being a confident person. So in order to gain more confidence, in order to develop confidence, you've got to surround yourself with people that think in a confident manner, people that are confident and competent in what they do. Next, in order to gain more confidence, I think you've got to keep track of all of your wins. Now, what do I mean? I think you've got to keep track of all of the smallest of victories. As I've said in past podcasts, the best way to create momentum in your life, in your world, is to celebrate small victories. So if you want to gain confidence, recognize, acknowledge, track every little win that you have, and then let those wins compound into an even bigger win. The more wins you can stack, the more confident you become. So track your wins. Now, this is harder than maybe you initially perceive. And why? That's because a lot of the listeners of No Days Off, you're high achievers. And you rarely slow down to acknowledge small victories. But if you want to gain momentum and you want to gain confidence, acknowledge your wins, track your wins. So if you have an objective, if you want to be confident, let's say, in your path to, lowering body fat. Well, we can't only track body fat loss. Of course, that's the lag metric. That's the one that matters most. But if we start by tracking wins around how our food is changing, or start tracking wins around how we're sleeping better, or start tracking wins around the workouts that we're getting, and acknowledging maybe that we worked out a certain number of days in a row or ate a certain number of days in a row. Those are just small wins. Tracking those wins creates more confidence, and more confidence leads to the attainment of that goal. Lastly, in terms of gaining more confidence, you got to have patience. And you got to accept the fact that the universe conspires. Now, that might sound a little strange. And this is just my personal belief. I've just found that if you put in the work and if you allow time to play out, things have a tendency to work out favorably. It may not work out in the manner that you expected. It may not work out in the time that you expected. But the universe conspires in one way or another if you're doing the work and if you believe in your path and you're patient. The universe will make it happen for you. So you've got to accept that to gain confidence. You've got to recognize that this is going to play out if I stick to it. You never lose if you never quit. It's a really interesting thing to think around. So in order to gain confidence, and I mentioned Chris's beliefs for confidence, but in order to gain confidence, real quick, create a stronger belief statement and understand your why. Have very clear goals. Number 1. Number 2, practice and practice and practice some more. Number 3, surround yourself with the right people, the right environment, confident and competent people. Number 4, keep track of your wins, even the smallest ones. And number 5, be patient and accept the fact that the universe is going to work in your favor over time. So the focusing question for you, where are you lacking confidence right now in your world? And how can you take what we talked about here today at No Days Off and apply it, and in doing so, gain a little bit more confidence that's going to aid you in achieving whatever goal or objective it is that you desire. That's all I have for you today, the No Days Off podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. So let's get after it.